Howdy, welcome back to another Walking Dead video. Today I want to do some Rick Grimes movies predictions. I want to predict some things about the movies because I feel like we have enough information, we have enough little tidbits to kind of guess when the movie's taking place, what's it going to be about, and where Rick is and what Rick is like and stuff like that. I feel like we have enough information from World Beyond, mostly with the little tidbits. If you really watch World Beyond and really deep dive into some of the episodes, you get a few hints of Rick. I feel like we have enough information now to know when the movie takes place, what happened to Rick, what Rick has been doing, what's the movie going to be about. I think we have enough information, so let's get right into this. So I feel like the first part of the movie will take place immediately after Rick leaves in the chopper. I don't think the time jump will be immediate. I think there'll be a time jump maybe 10-20 minutes into the movie, maybe 10 minutes into the movie, after they set up where Rick is staying. I think this first 10 minutes is going to tell us why Rick never came back. And I predict it's going to be something like Rick was blackmailed by the CRM that if he goes back to Alexandria, everyone in Alexandria dies. Maybe after he recovers, he tries to escape, and the CRM's like, no, you can't escape. You're a B. You're an asset to us. And they maybe see that how valuable he is, how able he was able to escape. I feel like we'll get like, do you know how Avengers Endgame had that first 20 minutes, like, go and defeat Thanos thing? I think the Rick movie will have kind of like similar to that, with Rick actually escaping the facility but then getting caught and then being like, you're actually quite valuable, you're quite good skills, and then they blackmail him, be like, you're going to do this for us because we can see that you're able to do it. Maybe he becomes a soldier, maybe he goes like, okay, he's actually a pretty good like leader, maybe we make him give him a captain or something like that, make him a captain of a small group, like make him some sort of authority figure. I feel like that's what they're going to do with Rick. Like, he's such a good leader, they could just be like, okay, you're going to do this, and if you don't, we'll go kill him in Alexandria. And then after that, we'll get a time jump straight into like 6 years later, and we see what Rick has been doing for 6 years. He's been working for the CRM. We know that he's working for the CRM, and he's a valuable asset, because Jadis said in multiple episodes that she traded someone in to the CRM for her to join the CRM, and it paid off well. He was a valuable asset. He really helped her. Like, even in the Huck versus Jadis fight, Jadis said, I had an A, and he was a good A, but I told him it's a B, and it worked, or something similar to that. And he should have said about how Rick was so valuable to her as a B. It basically helped her become the warrant officer that she was. So that shows us that Rick isn't like in a prison. He isn't doing anything. He is working for the CRM. And I predict he's probably working for the CRM for 6 years, like being a good officer. And when we pick up with him after the 6-year time jump of him working for the CRM, he could probably found out the big thing. Maybe he found out about the tests and killing hundreds of people, or he found out about the running walkers, because we know the runners are going to be in the movie. I don't think he's going to be in France. I feel like the CRM brung them back to the US, and probably the runners are going to be a big part of the movie, and that sets off Rick being like, no, I can't be a part of them anymore. I need to escape. The CRM, in my opinion, is definitely going to try and weaponize the runners in the movie. I feel like that's a very confident prediction that I have. And I feel like this could be the catalyst for the movie. Rick finds out about the runners, and he finds out what the CRM are going to plan to do with them. Maybe there's another community, maybe the CRM are at war with someone else. We know the CRM and the Commonwealth know each other. Maybe the CRM's like, we don't want to waste troops, let's weaponize runners, or something like that. And Rick sees that, and that's the last straw. Rick's like, I need to get out of here. And then that leads into the whole movie happening. And I think the whole movie is going to take place within the CRM. I feel like Rick, by the time of the 6-year time jump, has some loyal men and women who are just loyal to him. And when they find out about the runners and what the CRM plan to do with them, they all like vow to try and stop them. And I feel like the whole premise of the movie is going to be them trying to blow up the facility that the runners are in and try and kill all the runners before the CRM can make more, like, get them out into the world. And I feel like it's going to fail, but it's going to be like a narrow fail. I think they will blow up the facility, but a handful of runners will be stored by the CRM and escape at the end of the movie. And the end of the movie will be Rick finally getting enough people, or finally escaping the CRM and being like, okay, I escaped, but I need to go back there and finish what I started. I feel like the whole movie's going to be a very small thing, but the whole CRM thing is going to build up to the final movie, and that's when it's Rick versus the CRM properly. I feel like this movie is just Rick versus runners and one facility. Do you know how World Beyond focused on one facility, and that was the science facility? I feel like Rick Grimes' movie, the first one, will do a similar thing, but with way better acting and way more action. So what is my little evidence to prove my prediction for that it's going to be about Rick trying to blow up the ruins of the facility? Is that in episode 4 of World Beyond, Elizabeth even mentioned how she had to disappear for a few bits, and I think it's like episode 2 or 3, she had to disappear because there was an issue at a facility, and I feel like that reference, because it didn't connect to anything else, is definitely a reference to the Rick movie. Like, originally my prediction after hearing that when watching the show is that, oh, it's a prison that Rick's just escaped from. But because of Jada saying how valuable Rick was to the CRM, it's definitely not Rick escaping from a facility. I think it's Rick rebelling against this facility that's trying to breed and test on and use runners. And I feel like after Rick tried to do that, Elizabeth, who's like kind of second in charge, third in charge in the military, had to go and respond to it and try and stop Rick and being like, well, Rick, what are you doing? You were a good soldier. And Rick being like, nah, it's too far. And I feel like that's what we're going to try and get in the movie. And World Beyond's kind of confirmed, okay, a facility is going to be a part of the movie. And I feel like the whole movie is going to be about this one facility. That comment also, in my opinion, proves when the movie's going to take place. Like, my next prediction is that the movie will take place during the events of World Beyond Season 2. It's kind of guaranteed if the facility part is guaranteed to be in the movie and Rick taking down the facility, and basically Elizabeth referenced the movie by saying a facility's gone dark or something like that. That kind of guarantees that the Rick movie takes place at the 10-year mark, kind of 2 years before The Walking Dead in the timeline, and takes place during the events of World Beyond Season 2. This also kind of helps us to narrow down who we think the cast will be and which characters which will be returning to the Walking Dead universe for this movie. And during World Beyond characters, I think the only character that we can actually have in the movie is Elizabeth, because we knew she went to the facility while this issue was happening because she had to go and respond to it. And if Rick is there, and this is actually the movie, Rick trying to take down this facility to stop running walkers, we're definitely going to see Elizabeth. I think she'll do kind of a villain role in the first movie, with her kind of being the villain and being the top brass at this point in time. She's definitely going to be kind of the CRM head villain role for this movie, and we won't see General Bill in this movie. I feel like he'll be saved for the second or third movie when Elizabeth is now the good guy, and the kind of Elizabeth joins Rick's team in the second movie. I feel like that's going to happen. But with Elizabeth being guaranteed to be in this movie if it takes place at the facility, like I predict, I don't think we're going to get any World Beyond characters because they're probably saved for the second movie. And if this takes place during World Beyond Season 2, they can't be in the movie because they're doing their own things. And because of that, Jadis, I think, will have a very minimal role in this movie. I feel like she'll be a big part of the later movies, but I predict Jadis is only be in the first 10 to 20 minutes before the time jump, when Rick is now in charge of things. I feel like when Rick is just come to the CRM, we'll see Jadis and we'll have her there. But after the time jump, she's going to be in World Beyond Season 2, and we won't have her mentioned again or anything like that. I feel like Jadis is going to be kind of a cameo, and Elizabeth Kubik is going to be the main villain of the first movie. Because of the time zone, I'm very confident in my prediction that it will take place during Season 2 of World Beyond. No other characters from any other show could ideally enter and be in this movie other than Jadis and Elizabeth Kubik, just because Walking Dead takes place at year 12, and even Season 10 takes place at year 11. Like, Michonne leaving to Season 10, it's too late in the timeline. She wouldn't make it there in time. She'll be there in the second movie, definitely, but she can't be in the first. And Fear is just only 3 years into the apocalypse. Another 7 years, like, it'd be kind of weird to have a character just appear up in the movie. It would make no sense, because you'd be like, oh, wow, all the suspense around basically Morgan, he survives another 7 years, and it would kind of ruin it. And if the writers decide to do something different with Morgan in the show, they can't anymore, because he somehow appears in the movie. So it's definitely going to be very Rick focused and have only 2 World Beyond characters. That's what I feel like is going to happen in this movie. And those are my predictions about the Rick Grimes movie. What is your opinion? Do you like my predictions for the movie? Do you agree that it's going to be about a very small thing? It's going to be just about one facility and Rick's working for the CRM, not imprisoned? What is your opinion of my predictions. What are your predictions? Please tell me about your predictions down below. I would like to know what you think about this movie, how you think the movie's going to look. Please tell me. And if you like this content, please subscribe for more and look on the screen for more videos. I recommend you do, because I do videos all the time and you'll definitely find something I should like. But this is it for me today. So goodbye, peace out, and I will talk to you at a later date.